Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the pulse of Husker Nation. Couple of things real quick. First of all, the pulse of Husker Nation seems to change drastically at the end of the first half to the end of the game, the past couple of games. Number two, I'm a girl dad. Deal with it. Let's talk some Husker football. Now, before we dive into that real quick, okay, because everyone always talks about the offense, and they talk about it first, and they talk about it the most. Let's appreciate the defense. Let's not take what the Black Shirts have done so far this year for granted. So if you're proud, okay, and you believe in our defense like I do, smash that like button. Also, if you're a proud girl dad, smash that like button too. All right, coming into this game, Nebraska was a 20.5-point favorite. They had an 84% chance, according to that computers, to win this game, at least as of the last time I looked. The Black Shirts were giving up 46 rush yards per game, the second fewest in the country. Only Air Force, ironically Air Force, is giving up less rushing yards per game. Sonny Cumbie, all right, La Tech, Louisiana Tech's head coach, is a former Texas Tech quarterback. He comes from that air raid Mike Leach style of offense. All right, and former Husker wide receiver, the coldest, okay, Crawford, if you didn't know, is now on Louisiana Tech's roster. Just some interesting tidbits coming into this game. All right, now the Black Shirts, and they continued it throughout this game, all right, have not surrendered a single point on a drive to open the first half or the second half all year long. That is a sign of coming into games with great game plans and coming out of halftime with very good halftime adjustments. Now, the Huskers, okay, they hadn't done this in honestly years. The Huskers fake a field goal, 12:30 to go before halftime. Okay, with Timmy Bleekrode, you bring the backup field goal kicker to run the fake. That was great. I love that. Anyways, the backup field goal kicker that catches it, takes off, fake field goal, basically power to the right is what it was. Okay, Brian Buscini is the normal holder. All right, and they run it for a first down, and this led to Nebraska's first touchdown of the game, which was a Billy Kemp end around. Okay, Nebraska goes up 7-0. Now, this is the first play that we've really seen exactly like this all year with Billy Kemp, and it ended up in a touchdown. Now, not long after this, quarterback Heinrich Harburg had a very long touchdown run called back due to a holding call. Now, this kind of became a theme throughout the game. Louisiana Tech had a 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown called back due to a penalty as well. At one point during the first half, we did have a Jeff Sims sighting. Harburg's helmet came off, which means Jeff Sims had to come in. There was clearly a miscommunication on that play. Jeff Sims did one thing, the running back did another thing, a bit of a broken play. This whole drive, honestly, at this point in the game was really kind of ugly, okay? The O-line had busts in pass protection, the broken play, ugly, long third down pass attempt with multiple penalties. To this point, it wasn't exactly pretty in the ball game. Okay, Billy Kemp was really our only offensive weapon up to this point. Okay, and if really not for a fake field goal, we might have actually been losing at the point that I made these notes. But it was 7-7. Okay, halftime thoughts. Sloppy, undisciplined, have to pass protect better, have to be able to get pressure on the opposing quarterback without blitzing all the time. When you're a methodical type of offense, we're going to wear you down, hopefully, but in the meantime, we can't afford these types of mistakes. The positives up to this point, okay, we had more total yards, 188 to 132. We had more rush yards, 125 to 33. We were averaging 5.4 yards per carry at that point. And actually, Louisiana Tech was averaging 3.0, which is a lot for us at that point to be giving up. Okay, we had no turnovers, and we're a second-half team. We are, okay? And as ugly as that first half was at times offensively, I felt like we were going to wear them down in the second half. At least that was my hope. Okay, now real quick. All right, if you're a general contractor, a building owner, or property manager looking for concrete repair or work done in the Omaha metro area, such as street paving, building floors, parking lots, check out DPS Concrete Construction. All right, it's dpsconstruction.com. It's an owner that cares. He wants great workers. So if you're looking for work, go to dpsconstruction.net, dpsconstruction.net. And if you're looking to have quality work done, check them out at dpsconstruction.net. Second half. All right, a couple other quick thoughts going into the second half that I had. The option is there. I'm like, the option, I've seen it. The option is there. Okay, whether it's out of the spread or whether it's the old I formation, which we had seen a couple of times to that point. Plus, I was like, man, the tight ends are just open. Let's just hit them. Don't get locked onto one pass catcher. We have other guys who can catch the ball. Okay, but I was like, we'll just see what happens in the second half. Those were the notes that I had literally written down right here, okay, before I start to talk about the second half. All right, Nebraska's opening second half drive, 5:03. It was a 5:03 we took off the clock with power An option, which included Anthony Grant runs of 34 yards, 19 yards, 14 yards, 7 yards, and a 2-yard touchdown run. It also included a 3rd and 3 conversion, essentially a power run to the right, and a 4th and short conversion. And Anthony Grant had 75 yards rushing on that drive alone, which was more than he'd had in the first couple of games combined. All right, Anthony Grant finished with he had over 100 yards rushing at this point. The last time I looked, he had 131. I don't know exactly what he finished with, but I can go back and look that up later on. And with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, we had another touchdown called back due to a holding call. This was the 3rd TD called back in the game. This was an Anthony Grant long run on this particular play. Now, you got to go back and you got to evaluate the film. Was it a bad call? Was it a good call? Do we just got to work on our technique? It looked to me like a couple of these holding calls, there was sticky fingers. It looked to me like a couple of these holding calls. It's subjective, okay? I'm not going to sit here and whine and cry about the refs. It's just part of analyzing a game. The refs get graded too every game. I'm sure you knew that already. All right, the start of the fourth quarter. It's Nebraska 14, Louisiana Tech 7. At halftime, we were tied. Going into the fourth quarter, we're only up a score. Okay, it's anybody's game at this point. The first play of the fourth quarter, Heinrich Harburg, 30-yard TD pass to Thomas Fidone. All right, the option was there. The tight ends were there. Okay, Louisiana Tech actually blitzed a lot of guys on this particular play, and to the offensive line's credit, they had struggled early on in the game in pass protection. They picked up this blitz. All right, and Thomas Fidone's, it was his 3rd touchdown catch in 4 games. All right, and this 30-yard touchdown catch put the Huskers up 21-7. Now, around this point in the game, I did. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm like, I feel like we're just about to take over the game, and we're going to get some big plays in the run game. And a couple of minutes later, with 11:13 left in the game, Heinrich Harburg, a 72-yard touchdown run, puts us up 28-7. Okay, and at this point, Harburg had 196 yards rushing. He was averaging over 10 yards per carry. Anthony Grant over 7 yards per carry at that point as well. We clearly need to keep improving on some things. There's no doubt about that. But at least we have an identity on offense. At least I know who we are. At least we know who we are. For the love of all that's holy, we know who we are on offense, and we have an identity. Now, again, at this point in the game, Nebraska had rushed for 318 yards and averaging as a team nearly 8 yards per carry. And I made this note: Heinrich Harburg and the option play equals difference maker, exclamation point. That's exactly what that says right there. All right, let's see what I got next. All right, if you missed my prediction show, it's a mega show. I interviewed Nash Hutmaker, brought my twins on. It's a mega show. We did a prediction, interviewed Nash Hutmaker. Go back and check it out. But I literally said, the first half, it may be closer than fans like. This is kind of how we start. Hopefully we can work on that drastically and quickly. Okay, but I feel like the final score, I predicted 31-14 was what my prediction was at the time. Hopefully the final score is closer to 31-14, 35-7, whatever the case may be. That's what I said in that show. And I also put out a tweet/post on Twitter and Facebook. Cheap plug, go follow me if you haven't already. And here's what I said, and I quote, "This is who we are. We aren't pretty or a great first half team, but we get better as the game goes along, and we just wear you out, especially in the run game." End quote. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got some questions for you. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. A random side note, and for anybody who gets mad that I keep bringing up Colorado, I love Dion. I have since I was a kid. They're entertaining to watch. And the last time I looked, it was 42-7, and that's not even a shot at them. I put out a tweet on Twitter and Facebook asking people's thoughts about them being a 21-point underdog because I was surprised. I certainly didn't expect to see 42-7. Let me know your thoughts on that if you want to. But here's my first question. Yes or no? Just simply type yes or no in the comments below. Are you happy with our offensive identity? Number 2, how long does it take for fingernail polish to come off? Like, seriously. Okay, this is like 4 days ago. I thought it would be on my fingers for 48 hours. How long does it take for this stuff to come off? All right, number 3. And again, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, but I'm just curious what you find folks at home think. Were you unhappy with some of the calls by the refs throughout the game? All right, go to CarrikerChronicles.com. All your football hopes and dreams will come true. Go Big Red. And always remember to throw the ball.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Be sure and call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technician will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400. Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting up September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. I'm Matt Knipe with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand that no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail? I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the pulse of Husker Nation, brought to you by DPS Concrete Construction, your local concrete experts. Check them out at dpsconstruction.net. That's dpsconstruction.net. And yes, it's still here. Okay, my wife went and got some fingernail polish remover so this crap would go away. It's been like a week. Good Lord, hashtag girl dad problems. Life is good though. You know what? Do me a favor, smash that like button if you're like me and you like the fact that the Huskers get stronger as the game goes along, particularly on offense. Now, it'd be nice if we started the first half a little bit faster. In fact, you can hit the like button for that if you want that too. But the style of ball that we're playing is clearly more physical, okay? And I think it's also a direct result of the strength and conditioning staff doing a really good job and stepping it up from previous years. So hit that like button if you agree with me. But these are my top 3 takeaways from Nebraska football season so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we're through 4 games. That's a third of the season. It's time to evaluate, look back, and look at my top 3 takeaways, the biggest takeaways from Nebraska's football season so far. And it's also a look ahead at the number 2 team in the country. They're going to welcome to Lincoln Memorial Stadium this Saturday, the Michigan Wolverines. Now, my first biggest takeaway is that we have 2 physically talented quarterbacks. We really do. We got to figure out how to maximize using them. Okay, who's our starter? How do we rotate them? Do we rotate them? Do we not? If Heinrich's the starter, does Jeff become one of our 2 running backs? Jeff Sims, because that could be fun. What about some trick plays? What about using him as a wide receiver? We need a deep threat. We need a big target beyond just Fedoni, beyond just Billy Kemp. You know, Heinrich can play receiver. Jeff can play receiver. Can somebody play running back? How do we utilize these guys? We have 2 talented quarterbacks. Who's the starter? What are we doing at the quarterback position first? And then how do we utilize the other guy who obviously has talents, and we need some help just being a little bit more explosive on offense. Now, here's my thoughts on the quarterback so far, okay? As I read my notes, only 1 is taking care of the ball. Only 1 has started versus Power 5 teams as well, to be fair, okay? Harburg is a little bit banged up, got some tightness, didn't finish the game Saturday, and also Sims is recovering, as we know, from his injury as well. Okay, now and I was going to go through and read all the stats to you, but I'll just kind of break it down for you, okay? Harburg has actually thrown more passes, ran the ball more than Sims did, okay? Now, I don't know if that's because they trust Harburg more. I don't know if it's because, you know, Harburg has played against, I don't want to say lesser competition, but lesser competition. You know, what does that exactly due to? It would be nice to see more deep balls thrown downfield from either quarterback. It would be nice to see wide receivers getting open to give them that option, but it would be nice to see a higher completion percentage. Like at the moment, Heinrich is completing 51% of his passes, but in the run game, they're both dynamic. The thing that stood out to me, okay, 1 quarterback had 4 INTs and 1 touchdown pass. The other one had 4 touchdown passes, okay, and, you know, no INTs. So taking care of the ball better, basically, is what has stood out to me. And I know the competition's been a little different. Okay, 1 quarterback is 2-0, 1 quarterback is 0-2. Okay, and it was interesting. When Rule was at his presser earlier today, he didn't announce who the starter is, and he said that's not gamesmanship. I'm not doing gamesmanship by not announcing the starter. And that was interesting to me, and I talked about this a little bit on 93.7 The Ticket, but I said I don't think it is gamesmanship either because the offense doesn't really change based on who's in there. So it doesn't make that big of a difference who the starting quarterback is if I'm Michigan trying to figure out what Nebraska is going to run, okay? I think it's multiple things. I think it's him protecting Sims because, as one of these things, because he has said Jeff Sims is our starter if he's healthy. Well, Heinrich has come out and he's played well. In my opinion, played better than Sims, albeit against different competition and the like, but I think he's kind of protecting Sims. I think it's also, how are these guys progressing in practice? How are these guys projecting when it comes to getting healthy? They're both dealing with some things, getting a little bit banged up. And yeah, Mr. Allen Iverson, practice? We talking about practice. Yeah, practice matters here at the University of Nebraska, my friend. Okay, he wants to evaluate the injuries, health statuses. He wants to evaluate how they're doing in practices. Okay, and I think we got to find a way not only to figure out what do we do at the quarterback position, but how do we utilize both these guys in our offense? But that's my first biggest takeaways. We have two physically talented quarterbacks. How do we maximize their skill set? Number two, on offense, we have an offensive identity. All right, we're not going to wow you or anything like that. We're not exactly explosive or anything like that. But here's what we are. We're going to hit you in the mouth, and we're going to hit you in the mouth, and we're going to hit you in the mouth. And we're going to do it for a couple of quarters, okay? And then we're going to keep doing it, okay? And we're going to see if you want to keep hitting us back in the mouth. I mean, in the second half of these games, Nebraska is averaging these last two games, these last two contests, they're averaging 21 points in the second half of those games. And it's interesting because those same two games in the first half, they're averaging exactly half that amount at 10.5 points. So we're literally twice as good in the second half as we are the first, statistically speaking. Okay. Now, I think things that we can do, I love that we have an identity. I love that it's physical, run the ball, smash mouth football. Things I think we can do to help open up and keep defenses honest, because they're going to start honing in even more and more than they already have, especially as the competition gets better. Okay, so for me, more option, but also more option looks. Now, you can do it out of the spread. You can do it out of the eye. You can run all sorts of different options. You can put a receiver in motion, use him as a pitch man. You can do veer option. You can do all triple option. Okay, I know Frost used to put the receiver in motion, use him as a pitch man. And then you can do fake option and all of a sudden hit the tight end down the seam. Think of Johnny Mitchell back in the day. Think of Matt Harrion with Jamal Lord in the early 2000s. Okay, that was something that was incredibly effective for Lord and Harrion as well. Okay, and to keep defenses balanced, I would just take a couple of shots. You got to take shots downfield. You got to show them that you're willing to take a shot downfield. And again, I mentioned this on the ticket as well, but I'm going to mention it here again. Don't throw it in the middle of the field. Okay, right now we're not a deep threat, deep ball team. That's where guys get blown up. It's also where you throw a lot of interceptions, especially with a lot of free roaming safeties in cover one that these teams like to run, or cover three. Throw it down the sideline on the outside shoulder of the receiver. So either he catches it or it goes out of bounds, or you get a PI. Okay, two of those three things are good, and one isn't necessarily that bad, but just show the defense that you're willing to threaten them down the field. Also screens. Teams are going to start blitzing a lot more. Louisiana Tech was blitzing a lot more. Teams are not scared of the over-the-top threat, which is where the fake option with the tight end seam could work, which is just showing teams that you're willing to take a deep shot, whether it works or not, but also screens. Okay, screens can keep defenses off guard, and I know that screens can sometimes single-handedly be a defensive coordinator's biggest nightmare. I've watched defensive coordinators have nightmares. Okay, back when we played Texas Tech and Mike Leach, they didn't run the ball, they threw screens. When we played the Eagles, they threw all sorts of screens in lieu of other things, and that's how they kept teams balanced. So those are things that we could possibly do as well. Now, I don't expect Nebraska to be good at everything at once. I mean, even Colorado, setting the world on fire. Well, we forgot how to block. We forgot how to play defense. We forgot how to run the ball, and Oregon exposed us. Now, they beat us 36-14, so I'm not going to talk too much. What I'm saying is look at what Deion's done and how insanely impressive that is, and they've got holes all over their team. You can only do so much so fast. Okay, I like what Matt Rule has prioritized. Defense, special teams, smash mouth football, and obviously we've got other things we got to get better at. Okay. Now, again, starting by running the ball, being smash mouth, and stronger as the game goes along, that's our identity. And I don't know about you, but that works for me. Last week, we ran for 312 yards, averaged 6.5 yards per carry. And on the season, we're averaging 235 yards per rushing per game and 5.5 yards per carry, which is 6th in the country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, as always, thank you, the fans, for supporting the show. Thank you to our sponsor. Go show them some love if you're looking for some concrete work to be done. If you're a worker in this area, Jason Armstrong, DPS Concrete Construction, they are the employer for you. Diesel mechanics, CDL drivers, concrete finishers. All right, if you're looking for a good quality boss, if you're looking for good quality work to be done, check out dpsconstruction.net. Number 3. The third thing that stuck out to me the most so far is we play rock solid defense. Not perfect, but rock solid. Our defense is going to give us a chance to at least be in every game and have a chance to win every game. The number 1 rush defense in the country, giving up 1.8 yards per rush, 46.3 yards rushing per game. Tied for 11th in the country in sacks with about 18 other teams, it looked like when I looked them up. Okay, but we were number one in the country at one point. We had no sacks last Saturday. Okay, but we have 14 total on the season. In total defense, we're 23rd in the country, so that's top 25. We got to get, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again. We got to get better at pressuring the quarterback without blitzing. That will help our pass defense, which is giving up 252 yards per game, which is 101st in the country. Okay, but we are a sound physical defense that's going to keep us in the games and give us an opportunity to at least have a chance to compete and win against some of these better teams like Michigan. Also, it'd be nice to help out the offense and get a few more turnovers on defense, but I don't want to be too picky, so far. All right. We are definitely better in some areas, absolutely need to keep improving in other areas. Matt Rule's emphasis on physicality and toughness, he literally said in his presser today, toughness is a skill. It's not something you're born with. It's something you have to learn. Okay, and I love that. All right, now real quick, here's my early look ahead to Michigan. All right, rush offense, they're averaging 168 yards per game, 49th in the country. Pass offense, 238 yards per game, that's 69th in the country. Total offense, 405 yards per game, that's 60th in the country. Scoring offense, 32 points per game, that's 53rd in the country. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the country. And they play bully ball, and they're really good, but they haven't been tested or pushed. And the offense isn't exactly blowing people out of the water yet to this point. They haven't had to. Defensively, they're really good. Rush defense, 80 yards per game. They're allowing 12th in the country. Pass defense, 151 yards per game, 7th in the country. Total defense, 231 yards per game. That's 3rd in the country. Scoring defense, they're number 1 in the country, 5.8 points per game that they're allowing. Now, here's my thoughts and my early look ahead to Michigan. I will put out a video later this week where I give my keys to the game. My 6-year-old daughter is going to join me. As always, one of my kids join me. I'll give a prediction as well. Look for that later in the week. Here's my thoughts. Here's what I wrote. They haven't looked incredibly impressive so far. They haven't had to. They haven't played anybody. Okay, no disrespect to Rutgers and other teams they played. Rutgers has a better record than us, so all due respect to Rutgers. All right, J.J. McCarthy's completing 80% of his passes, but hasn't had to make big plays yet. They have possibly the best running back duo in the country in Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Their defense looks better than their offense. Their defense looks legit. They're obviously big-time favorites. They opened as an 18.5-point favorite over the Big Red this weekend. Okay, my question is, how inspired will they be to play us Saturday? How inspired will they be to play Nebraska on Saturday? I have a feeling Memorial Stadium is going to be rocking. And honestly, the uglier and the lower scoring this game is, the better it is for us. Okay? If we can keep it close to halftime, if we can keep it close to the fourth quarter, you never know what can happen. I'm not saying we're going to win right here, right now. I'm saying the uglier, the lower scoring, and the more rocking Memorial Stadium is, and if we can get to halftime in the fourth quarter, you just never know. But I'll give my thoughts and my prediction later in the week. 3 questions for you fine folks at home. Hit me up in the comments below. Do you agree with my 3 takeaways? Did I miss any? Number 2, do you like Rule's approach to toughness? He's making a cornerstone of the program. Number 3, give me your way too early Michigan versus Nebraska score prediction. All right, as always, go to CarrikerChronicles.com. Check out John Johnson of Corn Nation, Connor Hayden of Corn Craze, Rob Zadiska, and so much more. All your football hopes and dreams will come true. Go Big Red Nose. Remember, throw the ball.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with VenueDelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street legal cars come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.